Yeah, you're fine so far.
Yep. So far, so
So
good.
far, so goody.
Okay, so I'm just doing this before we.
You can do that
Yeah.
until we do
Until we
this.
do the countdown. Sure.
It's on! Hello, everybody. Welcome. Oh, that echoes back. It's gone. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the February 8th edition of Disney Trivia Live. My name is Doobie Mosley, and I am the co-founder of Laughing Place and the co-host of this show. To my left is the beautiful Rebecca Mosley. To her left is the handsome Mike Celestino. And below all of us is the dorky-looking Jeremiah Good. Tell me that's not dorky. Jeremiah.
Oh, poor Jeremiah.
Hopefully
he even defended himself.
Hopefully you can get yourself fixed soon, Jeremiah.
Yeah.
Did I
We
freeze just in time for that dorky shot?
All right, so we're here to talk about the week in Disney news, as we do every week on Disney Parks Talk Live. We're going to have an abbreviated news edition today because today also happens to be the 20th anniversary of the grand opening of Disney's, as it was known at the time, California Adventure. So we're going to do some reminiscing, we're going to do some debating, and but we're going to get to that in a moment. First, let's get through the news. And the first bit of news actually comes from the Disneyland Resort, and it has to do with DCA, and that is, how about you, Rebecca? What's the news? How about not? How about you, Mike? You want to do the news?
Sure. So there's going to be a fun ticketed event at Disney California Adventure in mid-March, where you buy a ticket, you go in, you can get some food. There's going to be some kind of entertainment, and it's gonna mean that 1,000 cast members are getting their jobs back in a different way,
which is very exciting for cast members to come back. So, Mike Celestino, you actually have a lot of experience with this at the other SoCal theme parks, right?
Yeah, so it sounds very similar to stuff that Knott's Berry Farm has done and SeaWorld has done down in San Diego. So I think people were wondering why Disneyland didn't do something like this sooner last year. But hey, better late than never, I suppose.
Yep. And just to be sure that everybody understands, it's not like the rides are going to be open, anything like that. The attractions are closed. This is kind of, think of it like they're transforming the park into kind of an open air mall in a way where you can go and you can eat and, have maybe some entertainment, like like you might find like a jazz band or something, something of that nature available, but no attractions. So much like we've seen at Taste of Knott's, or do they call it Taste of? I can't remember that.
Okay. Everything's Taste of. So, and they have not said how
except for Universal. There's flavors of.
They have not said how much of the park will be open. Based on that number, 1,000, you might think it would be quite a bit of it. Let's hope so, because we've been seeing Buena Vista Street, about half of Hollywood, and half of Grizzly Peak already. So let's hope Jeremiah gets fixed, and let's hope that we.
I've been saying Jeremiah should get fixed for a long time.
for the sake of the human race.
They're so bad. Poor guy.
But let's hope maybe even get to see the vast majority of the park. Can you imagine if this is how? And it won't. Don't get me wrong. But can you imagine if this is how Avengers Campus opened as a food and beverage event?
Oh, somebody saw you today, Mike C.
Yes, I didn't hear them at first when they were yelling at me, and then I did hear them, and I managed to say hi. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry I missed you at first, but then I'm glad that I heard you eventually.
Oh, very cool.
So this starts in mid-March, and you can bet once it does start, we will get in there as soon as we can. We will have plenty of pictures and hopefully be able to do some live streaming. And
No, they weren't yelling. I misspoke. They weren't yelling at me. They were saying hello to me.
I like the idea that they were yelling at you.
Hey,
Hey, what you doing over there?
are you streaming now? How? This is a Bruin. This is a UCLA person. They're smarter than that. We know that. Although you're USC's. Maybe you speak.
Maybe they were yelling at you, right?
So that is huge news. The fact that in about 5 weeks or so, we'll be able to see more of the theme park is really, really, really exciting. Be able to eat there. I know Mike Celestino is really looking forward to that aspect of it. So it's going to be very exciting. And then see what other news. Mike Celestino last week on his trip to Downtown Disney. We didn't even go there today to see how progress is going.
I walked through.
I'm sure you saw it. So you want to talk about the latest at
Yeah, there's even new ones today. If you go to Twitter, maybe you can find the pics, but there's like new decor that they added, including Ray's speeder and a bunch of barrels outside the Rainforest Cafe as they transform it into the Star Wars trading post. Sorry, I derailed this whole thing.
Go ahead.
But yeah, it's just like a week and a half away.
What is the date again? The 16th, I believe, for Legacy Pass holders.
Yeah, a week and a day, the previews will begin for pass holders. There we go. That's the new stuff that was added over the weekend, the barrels. And
cool.
And then a week from Friday for everybody else.
Do you happen to recognize these barrels from anything, either in another part of the park or in movie, in universe?
There was a different 70s movie that had to do with barrels that wasn't Star Wars, but
remind me of Jaws.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to. But
is that where you were going?
Not a lot of barrels in Star Wars.
Yeah, no, this to me is what I envision when they're like, well, we put out the shark bait to get Jaws, and then your dock moves away. That's what I'm envisioning. Okay.
By the way, I'd like to take this opportunity to wish a very happy birthday to Loki, Tom Hiddleston. Thank you, Twitter, for alerting me to that. Awesome. So that's coming soon. We're looking forward to that. And then you also got to see last week this.
Super awesome.
Right. WandaVision photo op. It was available over the weekend to Legacy Pass holders. I think as of today now, you can go, if you're just a regular guest who was not a Legacy Pass holder, go line up at the Buena Vista Street, the Sunset Showcase Theater, and it's right around the corner there. You take your picture through that little fake TV set. It might actually be a real old TV set now that I look at it, but and you sit on that black and white couch there in the background. They don't have the posters anymore today, though. On Friday, they were giving out little mini posters.
Just for the Legacy Pass holders, because they're so special.
I enjoyed the person that you took the picture of doesn't understand how to take a picture of the photo op.
I like to think they were trying all sorts of different angles.
Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Negativity.
I know. All sorts of ways.
All right, let's take a quick those awesome posters you were referring to. So did you get one?
I did. I made the mistake of getting one right away because I was afraid of them running out, and then I had to run around and do my job all day, and mine got all banged up. And then I went back and I was like, "Can I trade this in for a nicer one?" And they were like, "No, sorry, we don't. It wouldn't be fair to other people." So that was fair. I accepted that answer, but now I have a banged up WandaVision poster.
If you find some other guests that had one and try to con them out, this was actually a lower number. If you want to, I'd love to make your day.
This one has appeared on the Laughing Place Twitter.
Yeah, that'll up the value.
Increase the value. All right. So let's get in our canoe and paddle across the country to Walt Disney World, where Jeremiah gets to speak this time. And what was it like being back on the river, Jeremiah?
It was very nice. I honestly don't think I've ridden in the Liberty Bell, the riverboat, not the train car at Disneyland, in at least 5 years or so. So riding around was lots of fun, and it was enjoyable, of course, with you, Doobie, because we could always talk about the weirdest things that we can come up with. But they did a really nice job, filling the river. They didn't do much to the boat. The island, they touched up Harper's Mill in the front, fixed some of the rock work, but it was kind of one of those things of like, hey, I'm on a boat. Okay.
I'm not aware of this angle.
Apparently, the boat crossed around the Seven Seas Lagoon before it went back into the river overnight.
That's really cool.
That is cool. Oh man, that's a beautiful picture.
Yeah.
Gives you idea of scale too, because this is actually the Queen Mary next to it.
I was just thinking, I kind of missed the period at Disneyland when the rivers of America were shut down and they had the Mark Twain just like parked there, and you could just go. I could just like eat my lunch on the Mark Twain. It was great.
Yeah. Well, they could do that, right? Does the Liberty Bell need water? I mean, I know it's on a track. Does it actually need water to sit in there?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice if they kind of continue to expand this eat in a park, but no attractions being open? Have the Mark Twain docked there, and you could go.
Just go eat on the Mark Twain.
Enjoy that because
you stop there. Just put a train in the in Big Thunder. Just put a train in the station.
No. That's
the special dining at Batu. How much people would pay? How much Mike alone would pay to eat there?
Yeah. The teacups. They got a little table in front of you, and just go eat in a teacup. Force its distancing because they're all already spread apart.
And it is open air.
Oh, yeah. I'm liking this idea.
I can envision how easy it is to clean a boat. I'm not envisioning a teacup being easy maintenance if you spill stuff.
Rocket jet.
Actually, the teacups as outdoor dining might be money in the bank right there. We should talk to Disney about that.
Put a little tablecloth over it. You can't let them spin. That would just throw it off.
They wouldn't be on, so.
But even the bag will spin.
But it's locked when it's
okay.
When you step into the vehicle, you can't just start turning it. It doesn't. It unlocks once the ride.
So Alice in Wonderland, get rid of the vehicles, but just put some tables on the leaves. You're just gonna walk up there.
Now you're getting crazy. The teacups, the
Big Thunder Mountain. You just sit in a train, the station.
Don't move it. I'm trying to think what else would work. Canoes? No, that's a bad idea. But the rest of this is a good idea.
I one time had a progressive dinner in Fantasyland. Do you remember that? Oh, you didn't come with me.
No, I've heard about it.
It was really fun. It was to celebrate Mr. Toad, and so
I remember that. That was a big event.
Yeah, it was really fun. They gave us each like entree kind of thing was like as you through the evening, and I remember having some sort of apple thing while I was on Snow White or something weird. It was an interesting evening.
Was it Mr. Toad or was it the Fantasyland Pen event?
No, it was an enchanted evening, and it was in celebration of Mr. Toad. But then they also had like Sleepy Hollow. They had that. It was Ichabod Crane. They told the story of Ichabod Crane right there by the carousel. And as he rode faster and faster, and they had him on the carousel going around as they told the story. It's really cool. It's well done.
So Valentine's Day is coming up. Picture a nice romantic meal in the animal cages of Casey Jr. Wouldn't that be awesome? Mike, would you and your lovely wife not appreciate that?
I don't remember how big those things are, but
you're not.
It's very tight squeeze, isn't it?
There might not be room for the food.
Don't worry, Mike. You can have a salad in there. I hear you eat salads.
Oh, back to our SeaWorld chat from the weekend.
Did anybody remember the Disneyland breakfast chimichanga? I've heard of it.
Oh, I've heard that was amazing. I didn't get to try it, but I've heard it was really, really good.
Yeah. Benji wants to see Gronk on Casey Jr.
Cool.
Dinner on the old People Mover platform.
That would be nice.
They are missing out on an opportunity here.
Because you could put tables all along the that top area of Space Mountain, right? Like it's still there.
Yes,
well, they kind of did that with the second level of the Innoventions building.
Yeah, the fireworks thing.
Yeah.
For the fireworks. And then if it got rained out or if they got canceled because of the wind, you were just out of luck.
Like cover Small World Mall, put all sorts of tables over there by
Right.
Small World Mall. And put the twinkle lights on, even though it's not Christmas.
Storybook Land.
I'm there.
Storybook Land. You just have to make sure the whole if someone has to potty, everyone has to stand up at the same time. So if you're interested in what the river's looking like these days, Jeremiah and I, in our last walk and talk through the Magic Kingdom, we did a nice tour. It was a lot of fun. And then apparently, no, these are Disney's videos. What am I talking about? There's our walk and talk.
Yeah.
There you go.
But you're not even showing it. It's just us on the screen.
Okay, well, good thing, because I showed someone else's. There's our walk and talk. Pay no attention to the thumbnail, Mike. Feel free to change it anytime. We never went to Tomorrowland. We just did
yeah, so I'm like a week behind on thumbnails, but I will get
No
to
worries. No worries.
Oh, Benji's got a good one. Some dining on the swinging gun.
You can only have one table because the ride can't
Would
operate.
that be inside or outside, technically? I mean,
Yeah, that one's a little. Yeah, that was a bad idea, Benji. I don't know what you're
It's
thinking.
just one party because you can't operate the
Can't
vehicle.
operate.
So
And then what's going on with the monorail, Jeremiah?
the monorail is claustrophobic. Well,
Oh, wow.
yeah,
so
Is this seating area back here?
yeah, they put in dividers. When we did the monorail talk last week, and this was talked about, and I was like, I hadn't seen it because every time I've ridden the monorail, I have not gotten in one of these cars. Apparently, it's only some of the monorails have it, and on this monorail, which was monorail blue, they only had the back half of the cars having it, where the front half was normal. So finally, after waiting a little bit, was able to get this, and it's cubicles. Like they have a center divider, and then they have the divider in the front. So each section can hold 2 adults comfortably, and they actually line you up on the numbers, and they have these arrows that point you in, and you go in and you sit down in your little cubicle, and you ignore everybody around you, and you ride the monorail.
Kind of like Tower of Tabboarding, and then.
Yeah.
So is there no standing on monorail currently?
No. There has not been standing since it reopened technically because it's one party per bench, or it used to be, so they weren't wanting people to sit in between or stand in between.
right.
And then finally, our final story before we go to the bulk of today's presentation, which is talking about DCA celebrating, what is 20? I should have looked that up. It's not gold, it's not silver. Celebrating
20.
its papyrus anniversary. They only knew. Jeremiah, want to talk about the keys to the world?
So as of the beginning of this year, the Walt Disney Resorts are no longer issuing complimentary Magic Bands to guests, which was their normal way of, you'd have it mailed out to you and everything would be ready. So when you got here, you could just walk up and do that. Now, when you check in, though, they have the different keys to the world, which they were kind of doing away with when Magic Band started up, and then they brought these back with these new cute designs. And it is really basic. The back of it has a QR code, no name, no dates, no nothing. It's just a new key to the world design on the cover. Or on the front.
I'm excited because I prefer the key to the Magic Band, so I always carried it in my pocket anyways. So I'm excited to have collectible designs.
Indeed.
Yeah, and Jeffrey is pointing out that this is similar. I'm pretty sure that this is similar to a design that we had been seeing on free luggage tags, but that's the size of them looks like what you would think of as a luggage tag.
Yeah, it's the
Right.
new Disney art of the main characters.
So that's the big news. There's obviously many, many, many more stories. You can go to laughingplace.com, just click on Disney News. Tons of theme park stories that aren't quite that big, but we wanted to make sure we left plenty of time today to talk about the anniversary of Disney California Adventure. For many of us, the only park that we know of, that we can really say we're familiar with starting from day one, because the others were either international or going all the way back to I guess, Epcot in '82, which, we were all babies back then, or Hollywood Studios, but we weren't living in Florida. So DCA opened on February 8th, 2001, 20 years ago today. And we're going to bring on one more person here because he insisted on being a part of this. So make sure you mute anything in the background, Tony. Here he comes.
Yeah, I definitely muted everything, and I wouldn't say I forced myself upon this, but I definitely wanted to be involved.
You dropped
I understand.
a couple of subtle hints. So why don't we start with this? Just really quick, we don't want to take forever here, but maybe if each of you could just give me some memory of your first visit to this beautiful park we call Disney's California Adventure. How about you, Tony? You're passionate.
My first memory, or just one specific memory?
Your first. Well, your first impression of entering this park.
My first was, why are there giant letters? And then I stepped backwards and I go, oh, it's a postcard.
Brilliant.
Nice.
Perfect. How about you,
Jeremiah? Memory.
Yours is probably a little deeper than that, Jeremiah.
Jeremiah's finishing up a snack. I'll answer. We watched DCA build, and I mean, it was one of those things where we used to go there and we would park, and then all of a sudden the parking was gone. I remember one time we drove to the park on a road, and then when we drove home from the park, it was a different road. You didn't drive on that road anymore. They had moved the road like just a little bit further west. And then now all of a sudden it was finally here. All the concept art, all the building, everything was finally done. It was time to go in. We were so nervous that it was going to be completely packed and crowded and uncomfortable. And we were just ready to be squished. And instead it was really delightful. Not very many people were there. It was pleasant as far as attendance was. Go ahead, Jeremiah.
Are you saying it was really delightful because of the park or because of the crowd level?
Well, okay. I was a fan of. I've had my fan card be called for since day one because I enjoyed DCA, and therefore, for many people, I clearly couldn't be a Disney fan because I enjoyed the park, but I did enjoy the park. But
I agree with Rebecca.
So it was both, Jeremiah. So yeah.
Mike Celestino, do you have a first memory?
I don't remember my first visit to DCA, but I do remember that I didn't go for a while because it didn't interest me for a long time. Anytime I'd go down there, we'd just go to Disneyland. I probably went for the first time around 2007 or 2008, but the first like real memories I have were after the rededication, like 2012, when I went, and like a few months after Cars Land opened, I went on Radiator Springs Racers, and I was like, wow, that was amazing, and like totally like justified the existence of this park and the Cars franchise at the same time. But yeah, I love the park now, and it's certainly I've spent a lot of time there, and it has grown on me quite a bit over the past 8 years since that happened.
Now it's time for Jeremiah.
So I went.
Who's going?
It's like, what's going on? I just like you guys, Rebecca and Doobie, watched it from when it was a parking lot, and I can remember the preview center in the back and going up to the platform and watching the construction going, and then going for the first time I went was one of the cast previews, and I can remember going on Superstar Limo and thinking that is probably the worst attraction ever created. And then watching Steps in Time and seeing that change 3 times before the opening day. But on opening day, I also was lucky enough to be one of the brave, tens of thousands or 1,200 people that stayed overnight inside DCA or inside Disneyland to try to be there for the opening. And they're like, no, just so you know, you're not going to see the opening ceremony because we can only do the first few people. Yeah, every single person who was inside Disneyland was able to watch the opening ceremony. And my favorite memory is falling asleep on Soarin' over California on opening day because they had a delay of it. And since I didn't sleep the night before, I conked out for the 40-minute delay that we had.
Nice.
And that wasn't your first time in the park, right, Jeremiah? To be there opening day,
No.
you took advantage of the previews beforehand. I think that's what was nice was we didn't have like pressure to see the park in the same way because we had so many previews beforehand that you kind of already knew the park. So this was a chance to just enjoy the fact that it was day one.
And which we did. So we were a part of the media event leading up to it. I first saw the park on January 7th. I'd been to I don't know how many previews. And actually during the preview period, based on those crowds, because it was quite crowded during the preview period, they actually stopped selling DCA annual passes. So, we were going to DCA on February 8th, and I don't think they had started reselling them yet. We didn't know when we were getting back in. So it was a fun day. It was very awesome to be able to have a nice view on the riser for the opening ceremony. I thought the opening ceremony was perfect for the type of park this was. Stephen Davison, who a lot of people know that name from all his other creations like World's Color, did a really good job with that opening ceremony. And I loved, as we call it now, DCA 1.0 very, very much. It has obviously grown into a much better park. I won't question that. But the original park was, the original park was unique. It was unique, and the current park is a little more mainstream, and it was fun to have something that was so different yet still so Disney, and that's what I miss about it. So one of the things we did here at LP was we decided to do our top 20. When Disneyland had its 65th, we did the top 65 Disneyland attractions of all time. So we decided to do something similar here for the top 20. By the way, we're live here. You guys in the comments, if you guys have any favorite DCA memories or anything, please use those comments, put them on the screen. As Mike says, DCA 1.0 was ahead of its time. So use the comments, let us know your memories, your thoughts. But we decided to do the top 20 DCA attractions of all time. So we separated out into about 73 different attractions as deemed by our editorial board. Then everyone assigned each attraction a number from 1 to 73, added them up, highest number wins.
How many was it the first time when we did the variants? Like 93?
Like 93 or something, yeah. Benji's favorite DCA memory is the tractor, so simple guy. So I'm
Which
just going
tractor?
to scroll through the top 20 here.
Bountiful Farms.
I love Bountiful Valley Farms. By the way, anybody that wants to show something at any time, just stop me, show it. Rebecca's got an opening day map. That's so cool.
Bountiful Valley Farm up here.
I love the farm. They had the water spritzing in the farm. I still love that.
Tody's like, you didn't leave it up long enough, Rebecca. I'll show it to you later.
No, yeah, that's fine. I'm also thinking, of course, when I have a bunch of California Adventure stuff, I'm not in my own home. So,
of course. No
But you
worries.
got
I'm not in my own home. I brought
I
mine
love
with
this
me.
video rolling behind you.
I know.
It's making me very happy.
That's chance to shine.
Yeah.
Well, now it's
this
a
is
blue
all I
screen.
got. That's handy because I brought it all over with me. My California Adventure reusable tote.
Nice.
Not
So-
opening day.
Opening day.
All right, Mike, we'll play some show us your stuff later on. Lots of walls. Gio's first time. Lots of walls if you went in 2009. All right, so I'm gonna scroll through our top 20 here. Number 20, Superstar Limo. Then we've got Golden Dreams at 19. Luigi's Rollickin' Roadsters at 18.
Popcorn. Hold on. Popcorn or churro?
Oh, easy for me, Superstar Limo.
No, I meant Rollickin' Roadsters or Flying Tires.
Oh, I like Rollickin' Roadsters
Rollickin'
more. How about you, Mike C? Rollickin' Roadsters or tires?
Yeah, Rollickin' Roadsters.
I agree.
Yeah.
Jeremiah said
Jeremiah?
no.
Tires, because I understand. Like that was one of the. I was there when they were testing it, and I learned how to actually lean and get it moving. So I would be the person bumping into everybody, the families that were all arguing about trying to lean. So I
Gotcha.
enjoyed it.
Flying Tire is one of those attractions that sounds about 10 times better than it is.
It was okay. I just like Roadsters more.
But real quick for you guys, I know our editorial list, but Superstar Limo or Monsters Inc.
Mike
There-
C.
Never
Okay.
did Superstar Limo.
How about you, Tony?
They're different though. They're so similar
are
but
the
so
same.
different. They're so similar but so different. I would say Superstar Limo because it was so unique. Whereas Monsters Inc. Yeah, it's better and more like fan pleasing, but that's because it's a copy and paste book report Fantasyland Dark Ride.
Monsters Inc. How
And
about you,
Roosters.
Jeremiah? You obviously it's Monsters Inc. Right? Because you just think
Yeah.
Superstar Limo's trash.
Superstar Limo was just like I especially after hearing all the stories of the original concept of what it finally became, and there was nothing worse than the bad puppets. Like that was the worst part about that attraction.
One of the fun parts about looking at old POVs now is realizing Superstar Limo really was as bad as its reputation. But it crossed over into it's so bad it's good for me. And so that's why I'm going with Superstar
I will say my favorite part of Monsters Inc. though is spotting all the different celebrities wrapped up in CDA costumes.
It is fun, but I enjoyed the humor of I enjoyed some of the humor of the original. It was really snarky and kind of poking fun at itself, and that was a joy. TV's back.
Sorry.
No worries.
All right, so continue on. Number 16, Muppet Vision 3D. It's amazing how many of these are gone.
Mr. Jeremiah, yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chairman, members of the staff. I really want to know if people voted Muppet Vision 3D high because it's Muppet Vision 3D or because it was the DCA version of Muppet Vision 3D, because the exterior, like, we're talking about an attraction that they've had to change the entrance. They had to change the entrance 3 different times because nobody would go to that attraction.
I mean, Muppet Vision is a great attraction. The exterior is cool. Look at this. This beats anything they had in Florida. That's bigger. Right?
We may be talking more about the queue of Muppet Vision 3D in the next show about Disney's California Adventure, but that was one of the things, like, I ranked that version low because it was just, like Tony said, a cut and paste version of the Florida one.
I ranked it low too. I'm surprised it's actually on the list. That one it's tough to be a bug.
More people than just Tony Betty voted, I think.
That's what I'm saying. Jeremiah, if he put it low, who else put it low? That's what I'm putting.
This is why I say on Mike's good side.
Next time I need to make sure I have the list in front of me so we can see like who did what. Oh,
I feel like it's easily accessible.
Yeah, no, it's right
she's realizing she literally has the list right in front of her.
No, he clicked a tab and now I have the list in front of me. A minute ago I didn't. But no, I wanted to see where everybody voted.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's still like it's in the high lows, but it's low. At least for me, and more people voted than just me.
Our next one is one that I did not give enough credit to, so I probably kept this too low. The Pixar Play Parade. I did not realize this was a 10-year attraction at DCA.
Yep.
Yeah, and the picture that we have for the float or for the parade is one of the floats that was added like at the very end of it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, well, yeah.
It's actually more of a pre-parade than in the parade.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay, so note to whoever put this article together. Number 14, but we do have a full video at Disneyland as a part of it.
Hold on, scroll back up, Doobie. I think that may be my video, and if you look to the right, you may see our CEO and former writer.
That's awesome. That's good. That's some good stuff.
Okay, number 14. This one might be a little bit controversial. Heimlich's Get It? Choo Choo Train. I think all of us gave it a pretty high mark, right?
It's in my top 10. I don't know specifically where, but it's definitely in my top 10. I was kind of surprised that a lot more of us have put it in their top 10.
Cole, our resident extinct attraction expert, made it his number 1 choice for the entire history of this park. I put it right in the middle. Mike Celestino had it at number 12, I believe, if my math is good here. Rebecca had it even higher, top 10. Tony had it just outside his top 10.
I thought it was in my top 10. Okay.
Our CEO had it pretty low. And Jeremiah had it just outside the top 10.
We had a tradition with Heimlich's Choo Choo Train where it would always be the last ride we'd go on at DCA.
Tony,
like,
that's excellent timing of your video, by the way.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, wow.
I might have some things handy. Anyway,
oh
go
yeah,
on.
wow, that worked out really well. That was pretty good.
Go ahead, Mike.
It was just a great, like, if you're there right before closing, wander through Bugs Land or whatever, there's no kids left in the park at 9:50 at night, and then you just hop. There's no wait for Heimlich's Choo Choo Train.
So this attraction, like I said, finished number 14. It came very close to finishing much, much higher than this, but for the vote of our managing editor, Kyle, who put it second to last. So otherwise, this would have been a top 5 attraction.
Wasn't it number 4 if we took his out?
If we did a median instead of an average, it ended up number 4.
And Kidder comes out with the fun fact that makes it a particularly delightful to me is that what you can't help if you are involved in Disney history to not pause a moment and think of Joe Rampt whenever you're on this attraction, and that is part of why for me it had such a heart to it as well. It was like there was kind of that element to it as well.
And the candy
dialogue alone is why I like that ride so much.
Yeah,
especially if you ever had a traffic backup.
Yep.
And you hear
I
Heimlich
cannot move.
burping,
What'd you say, Jeremiah?
Heimlich burping and chewing as he goes through, and the smells and.
It's relaxing. It's a nice long attraction. It can take, at least 30 or 40 seconds off your feet. So in that way, it's pretty enjoyable too.
All
right. So moving on from Heimlich's Choo Choo Train, the best bad attraction in the history of DCA, we will go to number 13, Little Mermaid, Ariel's Undersea Adventure. I was happy to see this finish so high. I think this is an excellent dark ride, right, Tony?
It's not bad. I don't think it's top 20 worthy, but it's not bad.
Seriously? Yeah. Where did Tony put it?
I think it's in the middle ground somewhere.
Yeah, pretty low. Barely in the top half. Wow. All right. Moving on, we have Aladdin Music Spectacular. I will tell you, spoiler alert, the only submission from the Hyperion Theater. Is this easily the best show in the Hyperion Theater? Agree with you, Jeremiah. What was?
I'm afraid to answer.
I would say Steps in Time, but that depends on which version. But the Frozen show was... The Hyperion Theater was designed to be a Broadway theater. Like, remember when they were supposed to have an entrance on the outside so they could sell tickets? Frozen was the first step in a true Broadway-style show there.
No, we love Jeff Lang.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that. All right, I don't know who we like and don't.
No.
If we're going to be showing his video,
show. If you're showing somebody's video, let the name appear. Totally.
But I didn't know what this was from. So yeah, this is from Jeff Lang Media. He does some awesome videos. So yeah,
that was Heimlich's Choo Choo. Anyway,
totally let it show if you're showing somebody's stuff.
What's your favorite? Steps in Time?
I like Steps in Time. The version that everyone knows was good, but I saw the pre-opening day version. I was there on the first cast member show on January 7th.
But there were 3 different versions.
So
there was cast member, there was annual pass, and then there was opening day.
I was there for the cast member version. The very first version is to my understanding. The only performances before that would have been for the Imagineering Day. And I loved that version. The Snow White song that they completely removed with the huge dress was just so beautiful. But all the versions are good. That's easily my favorite. Aladdin would be second though. Aladdin's a really, really great, fully accessible show. Frozen I did not like, I must admit. I love Power Blast quite a bit.
Power Blast I would say Power Blast would be my favorite out of there, but it was such a, like, even though it was there for 3 years.
Was it there that long?
It was there for
a while. Aladdin was there substantially longer than anything else, but
Benji's off to the side here. He called it a taste of blast.
So what was yours, Tony?
Aladdin.
Okay.
No disrespect to, well, actually a little bit of disrespect to Frozen the musical as being a Broadway show, but Aladdin had physical sets. Everything was practical. From what I've seen of Frozen, I never wasted the hour and 10 minutes to watch it because I just watched the movie. It's all projection. It's all projection except for some puppetry and that staircase and Let It Go.
Tony just wants to see a Pixar movie in there. That's
Yeah.
How about you? How about you, Mike C?
Toy Story the musical from the cruise ship.
I love it.
Hyperion.
Was what Mike C, was Hyperion on your to-do list when you'd go by the park, or not no need to stop in a theater when I'm in a theme park?
I'm not a show guy in general, but I did see Aladdin a handful of times and always enjoyed it. But I feel a little closer to the Frozen show because I covered the grand opening and was involved with all that. So
And Sven licked you.
Oh, that's right. And you and Sven are like this. I forgot about that.
yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where they totally bought me off. But I got to go backstage and interact with the puppets, and the puppetry in that show is really amazing. Wow, how did you find that so quickly?
Who did that? Was that Jeremiah?
Jeremiah.
Way to go.
Oh, no, Tony.
Yeah.
Nice. Good job,
Oh, we
Tony.
have that picture here. I forgot.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, isn't it still in there?
It's still saved. Yeah.
Somewhere there's also a video of me wearing one of the costumes from the show.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Wow,
Yep.
they really did do you nice.
Which one?
With the glasses today.
One of the soldiers, one of the Arendelle soldier costumes. They brought me in.
Wow.
We need to find that.
So yeah, I got kind of the VIP treatment on the media event for that, so it sticks out in my brain a little bit more. But Aladdin was undeniably pretty entertaining as well.
Aladdin
Until
was
you got to cheer up Charlie.
what?
Oh,
Bird?
Little Bird. Yeah.
Lucky Bird.
Lucky Bird.
That's a beautiful song. You guys are crazy. All right. So after
I
Aladdin,
didn't say I didn't like it, but I know what he's talking about.
number 11 for no good reason is the Incredicoaster.
Because it's fun.
It should not have been a separate attraction.
It's fun. It's totally different.
It's not
It's totally different.
totally
Totally
different.
different.
Close your eyes. It is literally the exact same thing.
No, it is not literally the exact same thing.
Okay, you're right. Close your eyes and ears. Then it's literally the exact same thing.
Go ahead.
All right, the Incredicoaster. Shut up, Gucci. No one asked you. Number 10, a unique DCA original.
This should have been higher.
Grizzly River Run should have been higher. You realize, I don't know if anyone knows this, when it comes down this hill, it spins.
Look at him
Whoa,
with his
okay.
Grizzly River
That's
Run
not
gear.
the digit I thought that was. Show that again, Tony. Very
Aw,
nice.
Very sweet.
Very nice. Did any of you guys not mark this highly?
Oh, I don't know
I
where
don't
everybody.
think I did.
Really? Why, Jeremiah? Did you say it's because you don't like getting wet?
You didn't. Make it right. Oh no, you did. Never mind.
It's a raft ride. I mean, it's, I'm here in Florida. I can go over to Animal Kingdom and go almost on the exact same attraction, but with more props.
It's shorter though.
I mean, but seriously, head-to-head comparison, you don't find Grizzly so much better than Cali, Jeremiah?
Cali has a story and has like the little bit of, the deforestation and stuff, where Grizzly has nothing like that. I always heard we're going to put the bears in there. We're going to do something. And it's just, you go up, you go around, and then you drop. The only thing you see on there is a cast member at the top of that waving at you going, hi.
You
Wow!
know why it has nothing? Because it's themed to an actual raft ride where there's rocks and rushing water, and you don't go around and down. You go dips, and then the water builds up, and then it spins. Did you see the spin? And then even once it comes down, you have the geysers. Dude, Jeremiah, you're so
Really?
jaded.
I'll go to Magic Mountain and go in Roaring Rapids before I'll go on Grizzly.
Not if you want to live.
What about you, Mike C? I saw you reacting to the conversation on the rapids.
I love Grizzly River Run. I love the feel of it. I love it. Actually feels like you're kind of out in the wilderness. I love going through the cave with all the bats. Love the theming. I love the design. One of my favorites in the park for sure.
Yeah,
And I think you need to judge an attraction not just on the ride itself, but in this case, the atmosphere it gives to the park as a whole.
Yep.
And Grizzly River Run gives the park its icon. It's got the chipmunk
And the
in the
whole-
middle of the park, and that just sets the whole
The
thing.
wolf?
and
That's
that and
the
that,
wolf, right?
that path area
Exactly.
between the mill and the waterfall that became the smoke zone. But I mean,
Not anymore.
but it's so
Yeah.
but that was so gorgeous. When you stood there, you would forget that it was like, it was really
and
beautiful.
the giant wheel and
Grizzly River Run at nighttime is one of my favorite experiences.
That was
at
the first
DCA.
time I did it ever, was at night.
And there's this whole secondary attraction to it where they have, the drop, and there's this little area where you can stand, and the kids love to stand there and then like run away and try not to get too wet, or fool people and stand there and they don't think they're going to get wet and then they get drenched. There's all that none of that happens over at Cali, which is one of my biggest.
And the Geyser Gulch.
Mm-hmm.
when it goes down the hill, it spins. Did you know that, Jeremiah? It spins.
Can we just talk about Barry Bostwick riding the ride behind Tony?
That's my favorite. That's mine and my other half's favorite opening special is the California Adventure opening special.
It is so good.
Yeah, so
it is really good.
So I think we have determined Jeremiah and Alex are very wrong about Grizzly River Run.
Even Ben didn't have
Where
it.
did I put that? Where'd that fall on my list? It's got to be in
Mike
top 5 for
Celestino
me.
had it as his number 2 attraction.
Number 2, yeah, nice.
I know I had it in the top 10 specifically because Grizzly Peak and that whole area is my favorite part of the park.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
sure.
had it as well.
I will say with the update in 2010 where they changed it from the horrible extreme river rafting theme to the actual like river rafting, no longer the canoes and all that kind of stuff, that helped improve it in my eyes, but it's still not the best rapids.
And looking at this thing now, I know Lee, our newest member of the LP team, has worked out really well in general, but I do think we need to exclude him from voting.
But yeah, I hear SeaWorld's ride is really, really great. I haven't experienced that raft ride yet, so I only have seen video of my nephew having fun on it.
So moving right along, Grizzly River Run was number 10, the first in the top 10, followed by
Toy Story Midway Mania.
highly overrated attraction, Toy
No,
Story
you're
Midway
not right on
Mania,
that one. Yeah,
which I gave barely top. I gave it way too high. What's wrong with me? Okay,
because it's a good attraction.
just a copy of another attraction, even though this one came first, I think.
I think the only reason I rated it higher than I would put it anywhere else is because it has Potato Head as the actual like barker, whereas later on, like when it's in Florida and I think other locations, he's not outside.
Right.
But this one, but the queue in Florida is so much better than this one in general.
With it being like Andy's toy room and stuff like that, rather than kind of
Just
boardwalk
Midway, yeah.
Midway. Yeah, I do prefer that queue. But I prefer this facade. So I'm torn on that. It was kind of a wash.
I think this being so high was my second biggest disappointment. We'll get to my first.
Okay, next up.
All right. Number 8 is Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout.
I don't understand how 7 ranked higher than 8.
Oh,
say because
can
of
I
enough-
second that?
No, you may not. Mission Breakout is a good attraction. It makes sense that it be a high attraction. It's unique. A DCA exclusive. That gives it some points. So, and best of all,
but a carnival attraction should rank higher than it.
You call it a carnival attraction coming in at number 7, Mater's Junkyard Jamboree. First of all, this is a unique ride system. You can't find this at any old carnival. It witches from circle to circle.
Francis's Ladybug Boogie.
Yeah, where's that at?
Alien Saucer. The one in Hong Kong. The one in Tokyo.
Well,
Those
Mater's
aren't-
was first.
Yeah,
No,
this one was third.
Well, Ladybug Boogie was first.
So Junkyard Jamboree did finish one ahead of Mission Breakout, which Mike Celestino is bitter about. I'm going to take a quick look and see who is the person that made this happen.
If we had kept them separated with Monsters
You!
After Dark,
It's
that was
her.
absolutely higher for me.
It's totally my fault.
She had it 4th.
I
Tony has it 6th.
love this ride. I love everything.
Oh, Mater? Yeah, sorry.
Lee has it 3rd. 4th. I can't add. You had it 5th. He had it 4th.
Oh, he had it 4th. I have it 5th. But I absolutely. I mean, I'm not. But I can't do tower. I pass out. So it's kind of. I'm not gonna be riding it. So
It's a fun ride. I have no complaints at all with this ranking, none whatsoever. Jeremiah?
No, I enjoy Maters. I think it's actually. I think I'm more bitter about. I think it's number 6 that should not be higher than Mission Breakout.
Uh-oh. But Mike, you did not rank this that highly.
What's this?
Your problem is, Mike, you don't think this should be above Mission Breakout, but you didn't rank it low enough. You still had it.
I totally enjoy Junkyard Jamboree. I have no problem with that ride. We go on it fairly regularly, actually. But I just think there's a Disney attraction experience that you get out of Mission Breakout that Junkyard Jamboree just doesn't feel anywhere near.
I disagree.
If you had given it a 2, it would have not finished ahead of Mission Breakout.
But there's so much more that I like less than that.
The music alone, like the 6 different tracks, I think it is, just make it worth going on again and again and again.
Per season, right? They also switch it up.
And they change it to Halloween and Christmas too, yeah.
They changed it
And
for
there's the hidden track,
Yep.
Yeah.
The something.
cable
And it-
guy.
and you actually it's a character who's a ride vehicle,
Yeah, that's
which is fun.
and there's 2 of them. You can go on this one, or you can go on that one, and then you go back to this one again.
It's really fun, and you can and it's just as much fun to look at as it is to ride.
That's
As
a
it is
good
to
point.
ride.
That's a good-
Whereas when I look, Mission Breakout does not add as much to my day
It
when I
detracts.
don't ride it
Mission Breakout.
as
Right, Tony?
What?
What's it like to look at Mission Breakout? Does it add to the atmosphere of the park?
No.
I can't wait to see how they're going to retheme it to fit into Marvel, the Marvel land, because it's right there at the entrance of it too.
That could be fun. Or they could just ignore it like they did for Mission Breakout.
I would love to see them have a celebratory event for Avengers coming in, like a Cars mashup, a Cars Avengers mashup. I would get a kick out of that.
So
me personally.
So the bottom line is
Like those posters on the wall, have like a little Avengers
that would be
posters.
I bet we'll see that.
Okay.
We all
Yeah.
agree now that Mater's Junkyard Jamboree is in its proper place ahead of Mission Breakout.
Yeah, look at Mike. Like,
Number 6,
sorry, Mike.
the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror, also in its proper place
Yeah.
ahead of Mission Breakout.
Yeah.
Right, Jeremiah?
No.
I'm with Jeremiah on that one
Wait,
too.
was Tony shaking his head the one who was just whining about it's just a cutout version?
Nope.
Because it's not even a good version of Tower of Terror.
I still say the Florida one is better. It's absolutely better. But it doesn't look like a giant oil refinery towering over Anaheim.
Don't judge a ride by its cover.
That matters.
Yeah, it fits into the
Oh,
formula.
wow, Rebecca had this pretty low.
Yes, I did.
But we know why. But and Lee, what is
Lee has it much lower than me, by
Lee's
the way.
the person we need to have on this stream. This guy is all over the place.
Maybe he reversed it. Would that be funny? He reversed 1 in 70 something.
Yeah.
But
But
what was the number 1?
I haven't looked.
no, he did.
No,
I think he had.
he did it. He did it because he has Radiator Springs almost up there.
What
So,
is
yeah.
his number 1? I'm curious.
No, now we gotta look and see what his number 1 is. Up, scroll up. Oh, he's looking. Ooh, the red.
Never mind.
Oh no, we'll get to it.
World of
No,
Color.
I meant number 1, like least amount, 1.2.
Oh.
What's at the bottom of his
Yeah.
list? No, the bottom of his list is
The Electrical
Parade.
I think that was my 2. I think 1 was
And
Fill Our
yes.
Magic.
Was,
And he has the carousel, Jesse's Critter Carousel, like number 4.
which is wrong. Yeah, the Electrical Parade had our biggest variance, with Lee having it number 1, or his least favorite, and Cole having it as his third favorite.
Funny how our extinct attraction person picks something that should be extinct.
Maybe.
All right, so Tower of Terror coming in at number 6. Now we're entering our top 5. It's getting pretty exciting here,
getting
fellas.
tense.
I will say I like the effect that is in California's, or was in California's, where you see yourself turn into a ghost. That was the one thing it had going for it.
I think the initial drop, when you first get on and the very first thing you experience is a drop, that's a nice shock too.
Except for the fact you went to a hallway to get into the elevator,
That
which
part
was
wasn't
just
good.
strange.
That part wasn't good. Some elevators are made that way. All right, number 5, California Screamin'.
That seems appropriate. Top 5 DCA. That makes sense. It's an icon.
An icon. It's only at DCA, Disneyland Resort's first looping or first inversion.
Fun in the sun for everyone.
Yes, highly themed to a themeless roller coaster.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about like the whole effort of making it look like wood when they didn't have to, it sound like it too.
Wait, when did they make an effort to make it look like wood?
Half of those supports, actually not even half. I would say 2/3 of those supports aren't even needed for the ride.
Right, it's themed to a wooden coaster.
And then the soundtrack was cool.
The soundtrack's fantastic. A friend of mine who has a picture of the on-ride photos, one time when the audio didn't work, how like angry I was, versus one time then we went on immediately afterward, and the picture, so it's like it's just back and forth, side by side.
I can totally believe that.
And the wave that kind of kicks you off, the wave machine was really cool.
When it worked, yes.
So California Streaming.
I guess you could say that about the sound too, because it was like, wasn't it like the purple bar was inevitably the one that wouldn't work?
There was also the surprise factor, because occasionally you would not make it up the hill on that first launch, and that always added a little bit of fun.
I liked it when it was when it was like Camelback, when it was
The valley,
valley there.
Valley out, yeah.
Yep.
Love this attraction, right where it belongs. Number 5, coming in at number 4, Luminaria, the best nighttime spectacular in the history of Disney California
Luminaria
Adventure.
did not make our list.
I am so disappointed. World of Color at number 4. Tony, why don't you wax poetically on World of Color?
It's just amazing. What do you want me to say? That's
It's
just like
water.
eye candy.
Water.
It's such beautiful eye candy, though. Okay, tell that to the programmer who spent many nights of his life programming that show.
Let's see. Tony has it the highest out of this crew with a 7.
Yep. I think that's my highest period.
No, Lee has it as high as you do.
You guys both tied it as your favorite attraction.
And then
I like Lee more now.
And then Jeremiah and Mike C have it just a few spots lower, just a handful. And then I have it much lower. I have it down in the lower portion of my group, and Juby has it even lower than me.
Yeah, I am.
But we've only
to go back. I'm being shown this. I don't know if you could see.
Oh, that's funny. In fairness, we've only seen it twice, and it was not it did not score well with us. So apparently we need to give it another try based on how much you guys love it.
It really depended on where you were, like what section you're in, and also which version you saw. The original version had some great moments, but then it really failed halfway through, and they gave up on a story altogether. If you put in the Tron finale, it was the best thing ever done.
They gave up the story before it premiered to the public, so
the thing
became more of an arcing theme than story.
The thing that really threw me is Tony Betty, when he was talking to me about it. I don't remember where this was, but talking about how important it was where you saw it. This is the Tony Betty who judges an attraction based on how hard it is to get on it. And yet he's willing to give World of Color a pass, even though you have to see it within these 4 square meters.
I have to see it within those 4 square meters.
You're not alone. This is what I'm hearing from everybody.
Oh, yes. And it's not difficult to get up front either, because nobody wants to get wet.
Yeah, because everybody gets wet. I will say, when I was out there in September of 2019, I had my backpack here because it was cold and nobody wanted to like be that close because of the mist and everything coming back at you. And I had my backpack right here on my right. And this guy gets closer, him and his girlfriend. And I was like, oh, here. And I move my backpack so they can kind of fit in between me and the next group over. And at some point in the show, one of the fountains kind of misfired and shot him directly. And he just looks at me. He's like, is that why you let me stand here? And I was like, no, I'm sorry. It is definitely a splash zone. And there's a reason people don't want to be up front, but up front is the place to be. Like, that's where you feel everything, like all the pressure and power of those 1,100 jets. And then you might come out with no eyebrows because of the fire, but hey, it's worth it.
One of the only times I've ever bought a poncho for a ride or a show was standing in front at D23 Expo with people who'd never seen it, right along the fin scene. Oh, wait, we're seeing commercials behind Tony now.
It's all good.
So World of Color is only good when you are in the perfect spot that gets you drenched. By the way,
you don't always get drenched. And if you do, you dry off pretty soon when the pirates hit.
I picture Tony putting his backpack beside him and then choosing who he wants to sit by him. If the right person comes along, I'll move my backpack. Otherwise, I'm
Very
sorry.
accurate. Yeah.
Mike C, do you have a favorite?
Are you
segment?
worthy of this spot? I don't know.
Do you have a favorite segment from World of Color? Because I know there's been varying segments over the years, over the ages.
Oh yeah, I like in Season of Light when Goofy is setting up all his Christmas lights on the roller coaster track.
Oh, that sounds fun.
It's fantastic.
That's amazing. I've only seen video of that. I can't, and video does not do that show justice, despite what's going on over my shoulder. But
like Tony was saying before with Mission Breakout, about voting higher if it was Monsters After Dark. If we had done Season of Light by itself, I would have put it very near the top of my list.
Wow.
So Tony, am I correct in thinking that you love the bubble sequence of Fantasmic?
no, the one here, no.
Yeah.
I do like the jungle sequence in California, but the 4.5 minutes of mist screen bubble sequence, no.
AKA World of Color.
That's how
No.
Jimmy World of Color.
No, so that was my biggest. We're gonna get into a whole other special rant.
No,
if you want.
we don't have time for the special.
Shortly put, that was my biggest problem with the 60th anniversary World of Color with Neil Patrick Harris. You used it as a movie screen telling a narrative documentary-esque story. And the only parts that were World of Color, like spiritually, were Star Wars, Frozen, and New Mickey Mouse. Like, most of the show, like, you don't always have the mist screen. It's there kind of adding to it, but the focus is on the way the water's animated and like the power behind everything going on and the coordination of everything. When you have it just running on the mist screen like you did for the 60th special as a movie screen, that doesn't work.
So Tony's actual favorite attraction is the Fantasy Water Show at Disneyland Hotel.
wait.
Jeremiah?
I loved that too.
So I really hope somebody took a picture of mine, Mike's, and your guys' faces when Tony was talking, because we all were like this. Okay, let's get on with it. Like, just
For
so
36
could
years,
not
I've seen that
there.
face. If you want pictures, I'll show you pictures of those faces.
I think the one you're talking about is the one we saw. I think the Neil Patrick Harris is the one we saw.
Yeah, that if we were ranking them individually, that would be the lowest one for me.
Hey, I shot that video, I think.
What?
I think I shot that video, the 2019, yeah.
Probably.
All right, so moving on to...
That's front and center right there. I got wet shooting that video.
It's okay, it was worth it.
Way to go.
You're a little off to the right from where I would have been, but now you're worthy, Mike. See, I'd invite you to stand next to me next time.
Number 3 is an attraction that should not have been on the list. Paint the Night Parade. Spectacular parade, debuted at Disneyland, spent a few months at DCA, but that said, it is on the list. It is number 3. Congratulations to Paint the Night. We all agree it is a great parade, though, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Short, but great, yeah.
It's a good parade.
Coming in at number 2, wrongly robbed, is Soarin' over California. Easily the best attraction at Disney California Adventure. Am I right?
I think
When it opened, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is over California. This is separate from the world.
When it opened, yes.
Okay. So.
It was the best attraction at Disney's California Adventure when that park opened.
Oh, you're saying it has since been surpassed.
Yeah, see behind me.
But not by the number 1 here.
I don't know. What did I put it? I think I put Soarin' over Radiator Springs. Spoiler.
Oh, way to spoil.
Sorry.
Come on, what else was left?
I know, right?
Right, thank you, Mike.
As
Everybody was on the edge of their seats to see if it's going to be the best party.
Jellyfish or Golden Zephyr, the only 2 opening day attractions.
No, we're missing something that I'm actually upset wasn't on the list at all.
All right, well, let's get to our number 2, Soarin', a great attraction. Number 1, to the surprise of no one, is Test Track Copy Radiator Springs Racers.
No.
Yeah,
Same
it's a
thing.
serious face.
Same thing, different park.
No, you cannot say that with a serious face, really.
It's a decent attraction. It's Test Track. What do you mean?
No.
Test track, but with a story and
It's a Test Track dark ride. And anyway.
not the same layout.
Did we just skip over Soarin' straight up?
Did I never show it? I'm sorry. There's
No,
Soarin'.
you showed it.
Okay.
Oh, were you not showing it on screen? Oh, that's funny. I forgot. Yeah.
Okay, and then we have number 1, Radiator Springs Racers.
He scrolled over to it, forgot to share screen, and I didn't even notice either. So sorry about that.
All right, so Radiator Springs Racers, great attraction. Yes, it is much better than Test Track. The indoor stuff is pretty awesome.
It is the focus of a documentary by our very own
Very own.
Mike Celestino. Mike Celestino. I thought I did it right the first time. Mike Celestino. Called Laps. It's about a passion for the attraction. A guest who wrote it many times.
Should have been.
I saw John today at DCA.
Oh, very cool. Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad he was there today. It seems apropos.
Anyone have anything more they want to say about Radiator Springs? Otherwise, I'd like to use the couple minutes we have left for what you're most upset did not make the top 20. Jeremiah, what are you most upset did not make the top 20?
Come back to me. I'm sure Tony already has an answer. 12.
I do have an answer, but hold on. I got to cue up my background. So go ahead, Mike.
I don't know. I think most of my highest picks made the list. I don't remember what wouldn't have.
Okay, fair enough.
But
Wait.
but
Was Maliboomer even on the list?
Of course.
yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
I know
Yeah.
I ranked it low, but that's what I'm surprised.
Now, Rebecca has her
That's
absolute worst
that's my number
attraction.
one.
Jeremiah had it in his top 10.
Like my lowest attraction.
That was a
I think
very
it
high.
was low middle for me.
For me, that's one of those where I didn't think it added anything, and in fact, I thought it took away from the park by its mere existence. So I scored it very low for that reason.
Cole liked it, and Jeremiah really liked it, and that's about it.
Oh, you're mad that didn't score better.
Very.
You know what I'm mad is not on the list because
That's
it would have
still
scored.
good, Tony.
No, it is not. It is not. You don't go through the different rooms. You don't see each video each time. You get to watch the 2-minute video, and then they go, "Here, have some bread," which is fine. That's really why we're all there.
You
is to get the
don't
free
even
bread.
watch the video, Tony.
Just get the bread.
Gideon just goes bread. We
But,
watch it.
but seriously, Tony, do you think that's worthy of DCA top 20?
It's the only one of those original offerings that's still there. So yes.
Season of the Vine, if we're talking about something that's a film, Season of the Vine was amazing. Like when they showed it here at Epcot for one of the food and wine festivals, I went in there and sat and watched it at least 3 times each visit.
But wasn't it missing something without the cast member to open the barn door?
Well, yes, but the music alone, like I
Yep.
listened to the music just recently, and it's just beautiful.
I listened to both today, and I still like the bakery tour one better.
Mike said he's good with that. Any for you, Rebecca?
For me, what I was sad wasn't even available to vote was the market because it's not a restaurant. It's not a so what
It's a shop. That's all.
Are you talking about the original Mandavi one in the winery?
yes, that
Yep.
little wine
The
country
downstairs
market
Yeah.
with pasta salads. I love that place.
That was our place.
That made me so happy.
That was the place. We were there all the
You'd
time.
go get your little salad and then you'd sit somewhere and enjoy how beautiful DCA. I mean, some part of DCA that was really beautiful. Like you could go eat it by Redwood Creek. You could go eat it by the river. You could eat it by the bay. It was just so beautiful.
I don't disagree. So I've got 2 real quick. One, graded down because we're all adults, but I think Redwood Creek Challenge Trail is actually an
Yes.
excellent attraction.
It is.
The best play area I've ever seen in any theme park. Really, really
Agreed.
cool. And even as an adult, I love climbing through there. But the one that really ticks me off is Luminaria. Luminaria was awesome. All you people just weren't ready for the awesomeness of Luminaria. And I loved it.
Yeah.
I can't see that well. There's ash in my eye.
Well, that, and I brought it up too, the spinners at the end. Like, I was so afraid of wind because it would just, and then it would just take them into the crowd.
Cool.
You guys don't like Luminaria because you're
Oversized.
babies.
Oversized.
I like Luminaria, especially the soundtrack. The soundtrack to Luminaria still gets played in my household numerous times. And you guys know this year, all the lighting in my rave, as other viewers call it, I'm themed to look like Luminaria this year.
So those are the 2 that I wish had made the list. And most of all, I wish World of Color did not. So,
Wasn't there a parade I thought you'd mention at some point?
oh, how could I forget Eureka? Oh my goodness, Eureka! and
Most everybody
California-
else did.
Eureka California Adventure Parade was my second favorite thing on opening day after Soarin'. I love that parade. The music again was just incredible. The way it had the different sections with the stunts and the ethnicity. I love that parade. The live instruments, the live drummers. Thank you very much. That is the funniest part. The surf section with the guys on the bikes, not just these guys, but BMXers and stuff. The stunts.
I remember the stilt walking Golden Gate Bridge.
Yes.
I seriously cannot believe this parade didn't even make a year. I mean, I guess it's just it didn't have characters. People come to Disney, they expect to see Disney characters in the parades. This was about California, not a single Disney character in it. I love it.
I know we need to wrap up, but I will say this. Do you think it would have lasted substantially longer if they put like a surfing Donald or
Yes.
like Mickey at the end?
Yeah, because I think people would have given it a fair chance, and I think the parade was incredible. Truly
I was
incredible.
watching videos of it recently, like this one behind me, and I was like, there are more performers in this parade than there are people along the parade route watching this parade.
That is true. Yeah, I mean,
For
Go ahead,
AP preview, the AP preview, they give us a full loaf of bread, the sourdough bread, just to sit and watch the parade.
Yep.
I can't think of a better way to end a discussion of DCA without that sentence. So
Yep.
let's stop it right there. And in fact, Tony, if you cut that at some point, I wouldn't mind. Thank you very much, guys, for participating in this. We're going to run out of here because in just 20 minutes, right, Jeremiah?
Yep.
We've got more DCA talk with. Why don't you introduce it?
Planning DCA, I think, is what we finally called it. It's going to be a little bit about what came before DCA, and then a lot about the opening of DCA. And that'll be me, Rebecca, Doobie, and a friend of Laughing Place and former Imagineer Josh Shipley, because he helped with some of the graphic designs for the original attractions out there. So we got some stuff to talk about, and trust us, we'll be making fun of stuff.
So that's in just 20 minutes. And then later on, 7:30 p.m. Pacific tonight, we've got LP Movie Club 30 for 30 with talking about Al Davis versus the NFL. And then tomorrow at 9 a.m., Jeremiah is going to be standing in front of SeaWorld going, why aren't you open? No,
Exactly.
no. That's it. So thank you guys very, very much for joining us. And please stay tuned. We will be back in just 20 minutes talking more DCA on DCA's 20th anniversary. Bye, everyone.